Hi, this is your host. Today we're going to look at the top 7 baffling cases of unidentified people. John or Jane Doe. The first case we will look at is that of Tani, who was found dead in a hotel room in North Carolina. She was a Caucasian female around 30 years old with no ID, no credit cards, and very little money. She had been strangled with her own tights. The only clue was a library card from Florida that said Melissa, but no last name. Police even went as far as recreating the most popular Melissa's Facebook page in an effort to identify her. But it wasn't until a month later they got a hit. A woman saw the appeal on TV and contacted the police. She said she believed the victim could be her sister, Tani, who had gone missing. The sisters were soon reunited. No. 6. The two Jane Does of Indiana. In December 2011, 2 young women froze to death in Indiana after their car got stuck in the snow. Their car was found abandoned by the side of the road, and both of them were only wearing shorts and t-shirts. They had no identification and no one reported them missing. It took over a year for police to identify one of the women through fingerprints. She was only 20 years old. Her name was Danielle, and she had a history of mental illness. The second woman, however, remained unidentified for even longer. Even though they were only 17 years old, it took 5 years before she was finally identified. This was because she had no fingerprints on file, as she had never been arrested before. Eventually, a medical examiner was able to get a DNA sample from her family, and it matched. The boy in the box. In 1957, a 4-year-old African-American child was found dead in a cardboard box in Philadelphia. He had been beaten, and his head had been caved in. There were no witnesses, and no one came forward to claim him. For over 60 years, this little boy was known only as America's unknown child. However, in 2019, a man named Joseph stepped forward and said he believed he was the brother of the dead child. And just like that, the boy finally had a name. He was laid to rest as Number 4. The dismembered Doe. In 2001, human remains were found in a suitcase in Toronto. The remains belonged to a white male between 35 and 45 years old. His limbs had been cut off and he had been missing for at least 2 weeks. The only identification police could find was a social security card with the name David, but no last name. For 18 years, this baffled police. But in 2019, a man contacted the authorities and told them he believed the dismembered Doe was his father who had gone missing years ago. He had only come forward when he saw a TV show about the case. Number 3. The Beaumont children. In 1966, 3 siblings disappeared from an Adelaide beach in Australia. They were seen getting into a stolen Ford Falcon, but nobody knows what happened to them after that. An extensive search was conducted, but there was no sign of the children or the kidnapper. The case remains unsolved, and the children were declared dead in 1970. But even today, people are still searching for answers and trying to identify the kidnapper. Number 2. The Lady of the Lake. In 1974, the body of a young girl was pulled out of a lake in New Hampshire. She had been in the lake for a long time and was almost completely sunk. All the police could determine was that she was around 10 to 14 years old. For over 40 years, this mystery baffled investigators. That was until a man called the police in 2018 and told them he believed the girl could be his sister who had gone missing. He told them she would have been around 11 or 12 at the time of her disappearance. DNA testing later confirmed the body did belong to the man's sister. She had been identified as a Jane Doe for 44 years. And finally, at Nowana, one-day yellow sweater woman. In 2012, hikers found the body of a woman in Colorado. She was naked except for the clothes she had on her upper body, a yellow sweater and a necklace. The sweater had no tags and nothing could be found in the area to identify the woman. Even her fingerprints failed to produce any results. For 6 long years, she was known as the Yellow Sweater Woman. That was until a man contacted the police and told them he believed the dead woman was his sister who had gone missing 6 years prior. When asked why it had taken him so long to come forward, the man said he had been searching for his sister and didn't want the media to know he had given up. That concludes our list of the top 7 baffling cases of unidentified people. If you know anything about these cases, please contact the relevant authorities. Until next time, stay safe.